I moved to the country 2 years ago, in the wet heat of New England summer, August the 23rd. I could say I've woken each morning since then, intent on writing this, my first letter, but that would be dishonest. I've thought of it, often, what I might say, how I might explain myself. For some reason, I still feel beholden to the stalkers, the strangers, the long-estranged friends who claimed, craved, and denied craving to know me in high school and college. Whenever I tell myself none of them cares anymore, whenever I believe I can breathe, another pops up. Just last week, a boy from my high school freshman physics class messaged me, "Hey, what's up?" I suppose he's a man now. I suppose I should call him what he is. If he reads this, he'll know the girl he's come looking for is gone. I wonder if he'll believe she never existed in the first place. I digress. I live in the country, not the city, as I and every single one of those people would have expected. I was going to live in the city. I was going to wear tailored suits and stilettos and do something my father, my first stranger, might deem useful. I was going to live in the city because there was love to follow, until there wasn't. So I didn't. Sometimes I live in Paris when I want to enunciate my solitude, to dig at myself like a grave. Paris is a method of excavation. I go to the cinema alone. I sit and write by the fountain alone. I look mysterious to satisfy the part of me still lured by the prospect of my own spectacle. But mostly I live in the country, in a house more than 100 years old, in the woods by a rushing river, where a mill used to stand. I can wander in beauty any time I like, and I like beauty. Our society has come to consider that statement conceited, a sign, no doubt, of our degeneration. Beauty matters. I live in the country, and I've been very busy. I've hauled cords of wood, monstrous bags of mulch, dozens of boxes of books. I've perfected my banana bread recipe and learned the names of flowers I've always loved. I've practiced touching substances that make me queasy, albeit through gloves. Too busy to write. I've only written 10 poems since I graduated. I felt, and often still feel, terribly ashamed of this. If I were old and established, a truly good poet, I could take my time, wait for words. Young, I must spit up garbage or be blown away, like sunshine on a clouding day. At least that's what they'll have me believe. And maybe I am a bad writer. I have no writing routine. I rise at 6 a.m. to read other people's writing all day. I only read 2.5 books this year. In November, I was on page 124 of Huck Finn, when the man who was the closest thing I had to a father shot himself in the head in the spare bedroom upstairs. I heard nothing, earplugs in to sleep through the night. Everybody, my mother, my sister, my neighbors whose ceilings were lit equally blue, says I'm lucky to be alive. In that headspace, he could have shot you too. He must have thought of it. Funny, I didn't think of it. When Mother rushed in with the announcement, my first thought was the mess. The cleaners took it all away the next morning, after the detectives took pictures and ruled out any chance of a homicide. But the smell still lingers in my nostrils, like my fetal pig's formaldehyde bath, except worse. I don't think I'll ever forget the image of his chest being pumped by a mechanical defibrillator as they toted him down the creaky stairs. Mother and I watched. What else is there to do? Apologize for ever considering a similar cure for living. Anyway, suicide can accomplish nothing. You have all seen my body. I wonder, can this still be an essay about beauty, if it is also an essay about death? I'll let you decide. A letter, I mean. It's a letter, the first of many, I hope, about my life here, on the hill above the river. Wisteria Lane, for the abundance of purple at the end of the driveway. Decidedly not for the Desperate Housewives Street, of which I'd never heard when I named my home 2 years ago, though I do find it highly ironic that Desperate Housewives follows suburban mom drama, and I live here childless, husbandless, wifeless, genderless, making my own money, doing farm chores. It's like Baby Boom, if she never adopted Elizabeth, or happened to wake up on the veterinarian's table. Writing this, I'm realizing how much I've waited to share. There is an urge to catalog, advertise, catch you up. I could write one letter encompassing everything and be done with it, but I reckon that's bad marketing. I will practice restraint. I will remind myself I don't know you, and you don't know me. The first autumn was a blur. Red ruby leaves on the grass. The dog died. 2 more arrived in his place. I unpacked until my legs were purple, and my hands were sore, and my fingernails were bloody shredded stumps. I planted more than 400 tulips, crocuses, daffodils, hyacinths, uprooting shattered glass from garden parties past. The winter was long, sad for reasons I can't seem to explain, sun falling blue on snow. We couldn't get the fire working until February, at which point it felt silly, but we did it anyway. Remind me to tell you about fires, how difficult it can be to make a cold thing burn. Spring arrived like a hot day after a rainstorm. Bright, clear, a blue smack in the face. Did you know poppies burst to life in the space of an hour? The day my first tulip bulb poked its small green head up through the wood chips, I understood faith. I felt like a mother. I've been thinking about the rhyme there. Mother, other. The whole world lives in the globe of a yellow tulip, embryo of light. Summer was Paris, as usual. I thought about canceling my trip to see the garden in full bloom for the first time. But I've taught my soul the calendar, and suddenly I couldn't breathe in the vast open of this place. I needed strangers, art, the vivid dream of sex, the routines of a life indulged only part-time, to be drunk on the train, to lose myself in the exact place I found myself many years ago. I needed loneliness. Aristotle said only beasts or gods can live alone. My closest friend insisted humans are social creatures. I found this odd. I only feel human when I am alone. August was still, hot, lush, the copper glitter of a dragonfly. On my hill, every angle of light reveals new verdancy. The tiger lilies kept their peach persimmon color until I could see them, then promptly fell to wilt on granite. The great blue heron, we've affectionately named him Harold, glided down the river one day, up the next. We had time only for a small vegetable garden this year, but the kale was lush, the aubergines plump, the scallions tall and numerous. Shall I tell you about the wind, how it moves differently through the pines and the white oak? Shall I relay how the trees play violin, how there is a woodpecker that responds to my mother, but not to me, how the copper birches make winter warmer, how I have never seen a night sky so clear, a full moon so bright as on this here hill. The first time I stood by the lake, I saw a small Thoreau cabin across the cove, and I knew I would die in this place. I said it to the trees. I'm certain they heard me. You will ask if I am lonely. My stepmother wants to know if I have a boyfriend. My grandmother says I just haven't met the right one. These women don't know I think every day about changing my name. They don't know how many days I starved myself. I will not lie. I just will not tell. I am not a dishonest person. I am lonely, but no lonelier than I was following love to places I couldn't touch. No lonelier than I was pretending to be a girl to please boys pretending to be men. No lonelier than I was being craved, being dreamed, being seen. Here, I chop vegetables methodically. I cook with wine, by scent. I bake pies. I lotion my hands. I try to be soft. I try to be a daughter. I work hard, just as Mother taught me. But I also watch the river. The window panes frost in the corners, just like in the movies. The snow is so white, it makes me want to cry. Love moves in like a spider in the corner of the kitchen. The poem is the breakfast I make every morning. The poem is the slim chance snow falls on each branch to make a disappearing tree. My pleasures are simple. My days are long, my mirrors are few. My love is abundant. I am capable of living. There is beauty at the crotch of the fig tree. I do not regret the leaving I've done. I will die in this place. In this place, I will cease being beautiful, not for age, but for the forest's cover, the impenetrable purple-green dream bubble of this hill above the river. For the first time, I give you permission to witness me, if only in moments, in shards of a softer light, in letters of a language I've only begun to write.